There is a difference between thoughts and thinking. Now, thoughts are like clouds drifting through the sky, random mental events, images, or words that pop into your mind automatically. They could be neutral, pleasant, or unpleasant, and you don't control when they appear. Thinking is the active process of engaging with these thoughts, analyzing them, judging them, replaying them, or creating new chains of them. It's like deciding to chase a cloud, shape it, and then make a whole weather forecast about it. This distinction matters because thoughts do not create your emotional struggle. Your thinking about those thoughts do. Now, I want you to imagine that you're in quicksand. Your first instinct is to thrash and pull yourself out, right? But the more you struggle, the deeper you sink. The only way out is to stop resisting, relax, and let your body float so you can slowly move to safety. Sometimes when you fight an unwanted thought, you're thrashing in mental quicksand pretty much. You might tell yourself, I shouldn't be thinking this, and then your brain focuses on it even more. You argue with it, you analyze it, you try to force it away, and then this thought gains emotional weight. So instead of you letting it pass like a cloud, you're holding it hostage and sinking deeper into its emotional pull. And this is why I tell you guys, it is okay to acknowledge your thoughts. It is okay to work through your thoughts. It's okay to work through what you're feeling. You don't have to suppress it. You don't have to keep pushing it away. You can absolutely work through it. So you can notice the thought without judgment. Oh, there's that thought again. And you let it pass. Okay, let it pass without engaging in extra thinking about it. Redirect gently to your chosen state or affirmation or visualization, whatever. The mental equivalent of floating in quicksand until you reach solid ground. So pretty much if you're in quicksand, you're going to chill the fuck out. You're going to stop struggling. You're going to stop trying to force yourself out of it. You are going to chill out, relax, and just gently guide your mind back to the new story. Don't be hard on yourself. Okay? Too many people are so hard on themselves. Stop being so hard on yourself. It's a process. It's okay. So you can absolutely experience the emotion fully without feeding it with your extra thinking. So allowing it in a healthy way would be, you notice the thought and the emotion it brings. Okay, you let your body feel it and you breathe through it until it naturally fades away. You're present with it like you'd be present with a passing wave. Now, an unhealthy struggling is you feel the emotion and you start adding mental commentary like, why am I feeling this? What if this means my manifestation isn't working? I have to make this stop. That's what keeps you stuck in the quicksand. You're being hard on yourself. You're saying, why am I doing this? Why am I thinking this right now? I'm not supposed to be thinking this. I shouldn't be thinking this. Don't do that. Instead of doing that, be like, I'm having this thought and it's okay. I'm human. I'm going to have these thoughts sometimes. Stop being so hard on yourselves, guys. How to experience it until it passes without sinking deeper. Name it. Name what you're feeling. So name it. This is anxiety. This is doubt. This is fear. Whatever it is, name it. Acknowledge it. And then feel it in the body. Notice the tight chest, the stomach flutter, the warmth or tension. No story, just sensations. Just feel it. Don't give it any meaning. Don't say, oh my gosh, this is going to ruin everything. No, feel it. Just feel it. Be like, I know whenever I would get anxious, I would feel nauseous almost, maybe get a tight chest and just get the pit in my stomach. So acknowledge that. Okay. And then let it move. Don't try to push it away. Emotions are like waves, guys. If you stop paddling against them, they rise, crest, and then they naturally fade. Okay? So when you do this, the emotion often passes way faster than when you resist it. And you can return to your chosen state or affirmation from a steadier place. So you don't have to fight it. You don't have to fight it. Because I do know, for me in my own experience, fighting it made it so much worse for me in my experience. That might not be everybody's experience. But in mine, I had to stop fighting my thoughts. And I talk a lot about, feeling what you need to feel, acknowledging what you need to acknowledge, but just don't give it your power. It doesn't ruin anything unless you assume it does. So feel what you need to feel, acknowledge what you need to acknowledge. But at the end of the day, you're feeding the old story because you have a thought that pops up in your mind. And then you start thinking about it. You start focusing too much on it. You start putting all your awareness on it. When you get a thought, fuck it. Thoughts are thoughts. They're always coming and going, okay? They keep going. But our identity stays. So choose the identity you want, okay? And decide that's who you are now, no matter the thoughts. A lot of people will get thoughts about the old story, or maybe they see the circumstances in the 3D and then they start thinking about it. They start dwelling in those circumstances. They start dwelling in that one thought about the old story. So what you want to do is be aware of your thoughts and try to catch it as soon as you can. So the old story shows up as maybe a thought, a memory, an image of how things were, of how things used to be, or how they still are in the 3D. So like, let's say you're texting SP and they haven't replied. Oh, they've always ignored me. They've just always left me unread. They don't care about me. It's never worked between us before anyway. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. If you have this thought, do not think into it. Don't panic. Simply label it, this is the old story. I don't have to feed it. I don't live there anymore. I am breaking this pattern. I am becoming the version of myself who has the love, has the relationship. I am the version of me that's loved, chosen, and prioritized. Instead of arguing with this thought, close your eyes if you can and feel where the story lives in your body. So maybe you have a tight throat, you got it. Let's say you get a text message you did not want to get, or somebody says they saw SP with a 3P. You know how your throat goes dry and it feels tight. You get that pit in your stomach, chest pressure, jaw clench, whatever. Feel where the story lives in your body at that moment, okay? Let your attention stay on those sensations, not on replaying the narrative. So instead of, when you get this text message, instead of putting all your awareness on this text message that you did not like, instead of replaying this person telling you, hey, I saw your person with another girl, with another guy, instead of replaying that, put your awareness, put your attention on this area that you feel the most, okay? And feel it. If you got a few places, feel them all. Like, feel one and then feel the other. Okay, this is you floating instead of thrashing in the quicksand. Breathe slowly, letting the sensation run its course like a wave. You're not rushing it away. You're not rushing it to go away, but you're also not adding more thinking about it. So without that mental fuel, it naturally weakens. Okay? And then when the emotional charge eases, you gently remind yourself of your chosen reality. It's already mine. This is who I am now. My story has changed. That's not who I am anymore. I'm the version of me who has what I want now. Because you didn't fight the old story, you now have emotional space for the new one to actually stick. Now this works because when you fight the old story, you're giving it attention, you're giving it importance, and you're giving it your energy, which can strengthen it sometimes, okay? But when you allow it to move through you without engagement, you starve, okay? You starve it. That makes your new story the only one getting fed. Now, I don't want you guys to get it wrong. Simply affirming for the new story works for most. But there are people who tend to have a rough time persisting in the new story because the old story is so dominant, especially neurodivergent individuals, because a lot of them are so hyperfixated on being perfect. They tend to get super focused on the old story a lot of the times. So this can help you with that, okay? So if you feel like your story is so dominant, try this. But repetition does work to dissolve resistance in the old story. But like I said, if you have a rough time, then try working through it instead of fighting with the thoughts. Okay, don't fight, don't resist. Just feel it until it passes. Okay, feel the area that you feel the old story in, that in your stomach, in your throat, in your heart. Feel it instead of fighting it. You can try a grounding technique. I know this one would be used a lot for like panic attacks and anxiety, but you look around you and you name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Okay, and then you breathe. You feel your feet on the ground, or if you're laying down, just feel your body. Okay, feel yourself. Tell yourself you're safe. Okay, you've got this. This does help regulate your nervous system and get you back to where you need to be. You can also do EFT tapping 100%. Breath work. I really love Wim Hof on YouTube. Wim Hof, his 10-minute guided breath work for beginners is amazing. You can also do the 4-4-4 method. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. You could take a cold shower. Wim Hof also talks about cold showers to help regulate. You could do a light meditation, okay, even if it's for 10 minutes. You can go on a rampage. Just find what works for you if you feel you need to regulate your nervous system to persist. I don't really regulate myself. And if I do, I just affirm to regulate. I just remind myself I'm safe. I'm allowed to have it. I'm allowed to have my desire. I'm allowed to have this loving, healthy relationship. It's safe for me to have this loving, healthy relationship. I'm allowed to feel what I feel. It doesn't affect anything. I usually just affirm, or I might inhale and exhale a few times. And if it's really bad, then absolutely I might do a slight meditation. But when you are aware of your thoughts, and then you start noticing you're putting all your awareness on this one thought that popped up, and then you start reacting to it, and you start thinking, why am I thinking this? Why am I doing this right now? I'm going to ruin everything. Step back. Step the fuck back and remember who the hell you are, okay? Breathe, do the grounding technique if you need to, feel what you need to feel, acknowledge what you need to acknowledge. And then when you have this feeling at ease and you feel like you're able to persist again, because your thoughts don't control you, okay? Your thoughts don't define you. You're going to have thoughts and they're always fleeting, but it's when you start putting your awareness on them and you start reacting to them and you start thinking about them, okay? You have over 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of fucking thoughts. That's a lot of thoughts. And they're just noise. Thoughts are noise. It's all it is. So if you don't like a thought, shoo it away. Shoo it away. Rebuke it. Return to sender. Whatever. You do not have to accept your thoughts as truth. You don't. So if you get a thought you don't like, send it away. Tell it to go away. If it doesn't, if you can't help but to think too deeply into this, like if you're an overthinker, and look, a lot of people are overthinkers. I'm an overthinker. I'm still an overthinker. I've always been an overthinker. So being an overthinker, and I mean this from the kindness of my heart, does not make you special, because so many people in the world are overthinkers, okay? I promise. But this is for that, for overthinkers, for people that hyperfixate on the negative, that have a hard time focusing on the new story because the old one is so dominant. Do this. Feel it. Acknowledge it. You don't have to ignore it, okay? Now, a lot of people, they can't absolutely just ignore everything. 100%, yes, but this is for those that feel like they can't, that they have a hard time persisting in the new story. But one day you're gonna get so tired of your shit, you're gonna just start probably ignoring it anyway. That's what happened to me. I got tired of my own crap, and I was like, I've had enough. I'm not doing this victim mentality anymore. I'm not doing the victim mode shit anymore. I'm not doing it. And anytime I would catch myself, like when I would drive, I used to drive a lot. I used to be a delivery driver. I would have my music blasted, and that's when I would catch myself a lot. Like, I don't know exactly what it's called. Disassociating, maybe? Disassociating? Daydreaming? Maladaptive daydreaming, maybe? But when I would drive it, I would make fake scenes and, like, fake arguments in my head. And that's when I would do it the most, and I would start thinking the worst the most when I was driving. So I had to be careful when I was driving. I started becoming aware of this, and I would flip it. If I started creating a fake argument, I would flip it to a, you know, something nice, something I wanted to experience. If I started having negative thoughts, I would flip it to something I wanted to experience. You have to start thinking in your favor. You have to start thinking in your favor. But I know so many of us are addicted to the feeling, okay, the negative thoughts give us. We're addicted to the feeling we get when we're hurt, we're sad. You know, and I know that that's weird to put it, but like, I don't really know how to explain it because I was that person that was addicted to it. It's like a drug. What is it? Dopamine? I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know the scientificness about all that. But the brain, chemical imbalance, stuff like that, when we get used to something, that's our safe spot. That's what we crave. It's like an addiction. So I know, like, a lot of narcissists, if you've ever been with a narcissist, you get addicted to that rush. You know, you get addicted to it. It happens. It's okay. But this is where we start reprogramming. This is where we stop those patterns we don't want anymore. You start changing. You decide one day you want to change, and then you stick to that decision that you want to change, and you're going to change. And one day you do. You do, and you never fucking look back. You never look back. So don't look back. Okay? You got to start somewhere, right? So start right now. Start right here. Start today. Okay? Decide you're done, and you're going to change, and feel what you need to feel, and acknowledge what you need to acknowledge. Okay? It might feel really rough at first. Like, I know I've used this analogy a lot, and I'm going to use it again. But it's like going on a diet, you know, and your work has a pizza party. You're eating your salad, and then everybody around you is eating pizza. And you crave that pizza. You smell it, you're aware of it, you acknowledge it, you fucking want it. You want it. But instead, you remember, I made a decision to eat healthier. So I'm going to eat my salad while I smell this delicious fucking pizza. Okay? Your body still craves the junk. It does, and it will for a little bit until it gets used to the new stuff you're feeding it. So it's the same with your thoughts. Your thoughts, your mind, are still going to crave the old negative thoughts. It's still going to crave it until it gets used to the new healthy thoughts you're feeding it. Okay? You keep going because you made that decision. And at first, yes, you're still going to crave the ugly thoughts that we don't want to experience. And that's normal. That's okay. You keep going because you decided, and you stick to your decision because you're not a fucking quitter. You're not a quitter. So you're going to keep going. Just like going to the gym too. You know, at first, you might get sore. It's a process. On the first day of the gym, you might be able to be on that elliptical for 10 minutes, and then you're like, I've had enough. And then the second week, like, you're going 5 to 6 to 7 days a week, however many days. 5 days a week is probably good enough. But 7 days a week is great too. But by week 2, you could do it for 25. By week 3, 40. By week 4, you could be on that shit for an hour because your body is getting used to it. Okay? Everything's a mindset. Everything starts with the mind. And it starts with making a decision. It starts with one thought. Deciding this is who I am now, and then sticking to that decision, and then reminding yourself who the fuck you are. Okay? That's all. Affirm if you need to. I love robotic affirming, always. Visualize, script, do whatever technique you need to do. Regulate your nervous system to help you be able to stick to your decision. This video is a lot longer than I wanted, but oh well. But that's it. It's just like any other addiction. Whether it's DRUG addiction, food addiction, alcohol, what else? I don't know. There's so many. Any kind of addiction at all. Any kind. It can take time to detox your mind and your body from the shit. Okay? But eventually, you're going to feel so much better. It's going to be uncomfortable at first. Absolutely, it might be uncomfortable at first. That's okay. That means it's working. If you're uncomfortable, it's fucking working. And if you notice yourself going back to the old thoughts, this is another analogy I like to use. Let's say you've moved. You've moved from your old house to your new house, okay? And even though you have memories in that old house, you don't live there anymore. You might reminisce about it. Like, let's say you drive by it for work every day. So you have to drive by it to go to and from work. Okay, so you drive by it and you start reminiscing about the memories in it. The good and the bad, all of it, okay? You're not going to stop on your way to work and stay there all day at the old house, in the old story. You might drive by and be like, yeah, had some good times and some bad times. But you keep fucking driving to work. You keep going on your journey. You keep going. You keep driving. You're not going to stay there all day looking like a crazy person, just staring at the fucking house all day, living there now. No, you're going to go to work, and then on your way back to work, on your way back from work, you're going to go the fuck back to your new house because that's where you live there. That's where you live now. You don't live in the old house anymore. You don't live there. You don't belong there anymore. You have a new house, the house you want, the house you desire. The new story, where you do belong, where you want to be, where you deserve to be. Even if you do drive past the old house, you can acknowledge it. Don't stay there. Don't dwell in it, okay? Return to the new one. Keep returning to it. It's okay to acknowledge and be aware. Don't dwell in it. You don't live there anymore, okay? So, that's all for this video. I didn't say it at the beginning, so I'll say it at the end. But if you're ready to shift into the version of you who has it all, then you're in the right place. Hit that like button, subscribe, because this does help me get out to other people who may be looking for answers themselves. And if you want help locking in your new reality, feel free to click the link in my bio or email me for coaching at manifestwithbeth@yahoo.com. Much love, guys. Keep going.